Hi people, it's me, Anja. My pronouns are she and her, and welcome back to my channel for my March TBR of 2023. For those who don't know, my monthly TBRs are based off of each month's most anticipated releases. So the first book on this list is called Onyeka and the Rise of the Rebels, and this book comes out March 2nd. I'm so excited to read this book. For those who don't know, this book is a middle-grade fantasy sequel to Onyeka and the Academy of the Sun, which I really enjoyed last year. Like, the world building was so immersive and so inventive. The plot was so engaging and so intriguing. The characters were so well developed and so distinct. I'm so excited to see what will happen next in this sequel. Literally, the writing is so excellent and absolutely so well paced and so well done. Literally, like, usually I have lower expectations for sequels because I don't expect it to be any better than the first one. But with this series, like, I'm expecting the second one to be better than the first one because I know that the author can do that. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes any sense at all. But basically, I'm so excited for this book because the first one was absolutely so engaging and so excellent. So anyway, without any further ado, this book comes out March 2nd and I'm so excited for it. The next book on this list is called Good Different. This story is a middle-aged contemporary following a young autistic main character learning to embrace herself and her differences, and it comes out March 7th. I'm so excited to read this book because, first of all, I love reading books in general about disabled main characters, but I love reading books more about characters that share a disability with me, because if you didn't know, I'm autistic, which is absolutely so cool about me, by the way. So I'm so excited to read a book about a main character who shares the same disability as me, especially since it's middle grade, because when I was in that audience, like, age-wise, I didn't know that I was autistic, you know what I mean? Because I wasn't diagnosed until I was 15. But anyway, I digress. The point is, I'm so excited to read a book that's, like, directed and meant towards my younger self that I would have enjoyed then and also enjoyed now as an adult. I don't know if that makes any sense. But anyway, aside from the representation, I'm so excited to read this book because it sounds so incredible and so well done and absolutely so amazing. So anyway, all that to say, this book comes out March 7th and I'm so excited to read it. So keep your eyes peeled. The next book on this list is called My Dear Henley. This story is a YA historical fiction retelling of Jekyll and Hyde, and it comes out March 7th. And if any of that sounds familiar, it's because I talked about this book previously in my most anticipated Black 2023 new releases, and I'm absolutely so excited for it. First of all, Jekyll and Hyde is an original story that I have no familiarity with at all, which means I have no idea what to expect from the plot or from the characters or anything like that. Second of all, I trust this author so much because she previously wrote Cinderella is Dead in the This Poisoned Heart duology, which I absolutely loved the latter of. Literally, her books so far have been so good and so magical and so rich and stunning. So with that said, I have really, really high expectations for this book. I'm so excited for a new, like, queer retelling, you know what I mean? This book is going to be so good and literally so well done. So anyway, all that to say, this book comes out March 7th and I'm really, really excited for it. The next book on this list is called The Renaissance of Gwen Hathaway. This story is a YA contemporary following a young plus-size main character who's at a Renaissance fair that her deceased mother really, really enjoyed, and this book comes out March 14th. I'm so excited to read this book, and I have very, very high expectations because I trust this author completely. She previously wrote Amelia Unabridged and Full Flight, and if you didn't know, Full Flight was one of my favorite books last year, so naturally I have very, very high expectations for this book because the author has done such a great job historically writing books about love and loss and grief, so I'm so excited to read another one. Second of all, though, my knowledge of Renaissance fairs comes from that one specific Andy Mack episode, somewhere in season 2, I think, maybe episode 10. I'm not completely sure exactly, but if you know, you know. So basically, I have no idea what to expect from those elements, but overall, I have really, really high expectations because I trust this author so much. So anyway, all that to say, this book comes out March 14th, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. The next book on this list is called A Bit of Earth. This story is a middle grade contemporary retelling of The Secret Garden with a Pakistani main character, and it comes out March 14th. I'm so excited to read this book, especially since The Secret Garden is an original English story, so with a Pakistani twist. I'm wondering if the author will touch on that relationship historically. You know what I mean? Like with the relationship between the British Empire and Pakistan. I don't know if that makes any sense, but basically I'm so excited to read this book because it sounds like it's going to be so awesome and so fascinating. I haven't read very many retellings of The Secret Garden. I haven't read the original story in literally decades. So I'm so excited to see what will happen in this book. And I'm so excited to just read it and just fully immerse myself into it because I have no idea what will happen. And it just sounds like it's going to be so fascinating and so well done. So anyway, all that to say, this book comes out March 14th and I'm really, really excited for it. The next book on this list is called Camp Quiltbag. This book comes out March 21st and it follows two young queer main characters at a summer camp, and it's a middle grade contemporary. I'm so excited to read this book because it's one of my most anticipated 2023 new releases because it's written by two authors where historically I've read really, really good books by them both. So I'm so excited to read this book, and I trust that first of all, the representation is going to be absolutely so amazing. These authors have done such a great job previously with writing such queer, happy, joyful books. So I'm so excited to read this book. It's going to be absolutely so awesome, not just in the representation, but also in the characters, the plot, the friendship, like everything about it is going to be so amazing and so timely and absolutely so happy and so important. So anyway, all that to say, this book comes out March 21st and I'm so excited to read it. I'm really, really looking forward to it. The last book on this list, and hopefully not the least, is called Hamra and the Jungle of Memories, which I hope that I pronounced correctly, but if I didn't, please correct me in the comment section below. But anyway, this book comes out March 28th, and I'm so excited to read it because it's a middle-aged Malaysian fantasy retelling of the Little Red Riding Hood, which I've never read a retelling of before, which means, again, I have no idea what to expect from the plot or anything like that. But first of all, the cover is so beautiful and so stunning. The artwork is so unbelievably pretty. So I'm so excited to see if the writing matches that. And I know that it can because I've read previous books before by this author and her books are so good. So anyway, with that said, I'm so excited to read this book because I just know that it's going to be absolutely so excellent and so engaging. And I love reading middle-aged fantasy. So anyway, all that to say, this book is going to be absolutely so awesome and I have really, really high expectations. So with all that said, this book comes out March 28th and I'm really, really looking forward to it. So in conclusion, that's my March TBR of 2023. Although I will probably read more books than this in March, since I tend to read more books than there are days in each month. So anyway, I really, really hope that these books live up to my high expectations. And if you enjoy this video, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below the pancakes emoji if you made it all the way to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!